Howdy, fellow travelers, Mark here, and today we're going to talk about what you should eat when you come here to Alabama. And yes, Alabama does have great sandy beaches that you can enjoy. We're here at Orange Beach. You got Gulf Shores, Alabama, right down that way. And the thing is, we're going to start talking about the food of Alabama. I think it's important we talk about the Gulf right over there and all the great stuff you can get from it. And the most important food you need to eat in Alabama that's from the Gulf is the Gulf shrimp. It is fantastic. However you want to eat the shrimp, you're going to love it. Whether you want it grilled or broiled or fried or whatever, you're going to love it. The shrimp here is fantastic. But my favorite way to have the shrimp when I'm in Alabama, it doesn't matter if I'm here on the coast or if I'm in Huntsville going to space camp with my kids, is going and having the shrimp and grits. That is a must. Yes, it's a southern staple, but here in Alabama, man, with that fresh shrimp coming in, you can't go wrong, okay? Now, another sea thing you should have when you are here are actually the oysters you can have, which are fantastic. You want to get them in season though, so like during the summertime, maybe not the best time to get the oysters, but honestly, if you get oysters when you are here, whether they're on the half shell or you get them cooked up in different ways, so good. A little charbroiled one, an oyster roast, if you can be a part of one of those, fantastic, okay? But if you're a tourist coming to Alabama, you might not be coming to the Gulf. You might be thinking, what are some of the traditional other things I should have when I'm here? And honestly, one of the most traditional Alabama things, and probably the one Alabama thing you'll see all around the country when you go to barbecue places, is Alabamam White Sauce. Now, if you come here and you go to a barbecue place, whether you're going to Dreamland, having their fantastic ribs, you're going to have pulled pork at a place on the side of the road, there's fantastic barbecue here. So yes, you got to eat the barbecue when you're here, but it's the white sauce, the Alabama white sauce you have with it. It's a mayonnaise-based sauce that you're going to put on chicken. You're going to put on your pulled pork sandwich. Oh, it's so good, but it's not for everybody because it is a mayo-based sauce. And so some people get a little scared by it, but you have to have it. Every time I come to Alabama, actually, we got down here, Josh's like, don't forget to pick me up some Bob Gibson's white sauce. I'm like, yes, dear, whatever you want, dear, you gotta have it, because that is one thing that here in Alabama is fantastic with that barbecue, or the chicken, or pretty much anything. It is really, really a good thing. Now, other meats you want to have when you're here, we are in the South, so fried chicken is fantastic when you're down here. Fried catfish as well. Oh my gosh, you can have that. It's really good. And honestly, if you want to have some good meats and try some good sides, I do recommend going to any place that has a meat and three, which means you have one meat, like one meat main dish, and then you get three sides. And there's so many great sides you can have when you're here. Yes, the old standby of mac and cheese, that's my go-to. But the one I recommend for you the most are collard greens. Oh my gosh. The collard greens, if they cook it in the ham hock with the little ham bits in there, oh my God, it's so good, okay? So that's another thing you have to have. There's all kinds of other side dishes that can go in there. Sometimes they'll put peach cobbler as a side. It's okay, it's a fruit, it's a side dish. It's not necessarily just a dessert, so you might want to try that. And honestly, the peaches here in Alabama are fantastic. So if you have the peach cobbler as one of those threes in your mean three, or if you have peach pie later, or just eat the peaches, you can't go wrong, okay? And I think another one that sometimes will show up as a side, but sometimes will actually be an appetizer, is fried okra. Okay, you can have okra, you can have pickled okra, you can have normal okra, you can have stewed okra, but for me, I love the fried okra here in Alabama. You can have that for an appetizer. It'll pop up in some menus. Another appetizer you'll probably see is fried green tomatoes. Remember, fried green tomatoes, they gotta be a thick tomato, okay? It's not a type of tomato, it's a young tomato that's still green because it's firm, because they gotta bread it and fry it up and make heaven in your mouth, okay? So big red tomatoes that are soft never work that way. But don't worry, you won't have fried green tomatoes like that here in Alabama. You have fantastic fried green tomatoes, okay? Some other traditional southern sides you're gonna love when you're here. Of course, you have pimento cheese, which is a great dip you're gonna have, and sometimes you get places that'll put it in a sandwich for you to have a pimento grilled cheese. So nice when you are here. Other things, the deviled eggs are obviously a good color as well. But one starter I think you'll want to enjoy, this is one that Jocelyn and Caleb just love to death, are fried pickles. You have like little, it's not like a whole pickle fried, no. It's the pickle sliced up and they bread it and fry it. And actually, even if you don't like pickles, they're actually really good to have. It's really good if you're at a bar or someplace to have as a starter with your beers. A nice little relaxing thing, sitting on the beach, having a drink, and then eating some fried pickles. Man, you can't go wrong with that. Now, another good kind of drinking snack that I enjoy when I'm here is boiled peanuts. And if you've never had boiled peanuts before, they're not like your peanuts you get in the can and pour out and eat by hand. These are little peanuts in the shell that are boiled and cooked, and the water's got spices and it's got stuff in it to give it a little flavor in those peanuts. And so what you'll get is you get that hot, wet, like styrofoam cup or in a plastic bag, and you just pop them in, suck on it, pop them open, get the peanuts out, take the shell out. You don't eat the shell, throw those out. and enjoy. That is a really, really great thing, and you'll see it on the side of the road. And I think one of the things that's important, if you're talking about food in Alabama, if you see places on the side of the road that look like the middle of nowhere, you'll be fine, okay? The best barbecue places, little holes in the side of the road. Best fried chicken, hole in the side of the road. Mom and dad are in the back making the fried chicken for you to enjoy. You'll see a line outside, just go and enjoy it. Same thing with the boiled peanuts. They're just sold on the side of the road, and you can really enjoy that. And that's one of the things you really want to have when you're here in Alabama. But it's something I want you to kind of think about, that this is not just you have to go to a nice restaurant to eat well here. No, you can eat well anywhere. Shrimp and grits, you can get that from a mom and pop store to a fancy restaurant, and it's going to be fantastic. Now, another thing I think you need to know is when you're looking at eating here, they love their breads, okay? And I don't say bread, I mean more like biscuits and cornbread. Those are two sides that'll show up at a lot of your meals, and they might ask you, would you like biscuits or cornbread? That's up to you. I'm a biscuit person, and if I get my biscuits, I'm gonna love it. So if you get biscuits here, especially for breakfast, a lot of times it really makes the biscuit is what you have on top of it. Yes, sometimes you'll actually see chocolate gravy on biscuits, okay? It does happen, okay? But my personal favorite is old-fashioned biscuits and gravy. It's a gravy made with sausage. Oh, it is so good. Any breakfast place in Alabama that's worth its salt is gonna have it, and I guarantee you're gonna love it because, oh my God, the biscuits are so good, and then that white sausage gravy with it, you can't go wrong. Now, another kind of big treat that I think you might want to have, this is one Josh wanted to make sure I mentioned to you, was orange rolls. So you know the cinnamon rolls you had as a kid that your mom would make and stuff, well, or your grandma would make for you? Well, imagine with the cinnamon, it's actually an orangey kind of thing. It's actually really good, and you actually see it in stores all over the U.S. where you can get the cinnamon rolls and next to it are orange rolls. I mean, it's some of those things that really started here that you're really going to enjoy. Another kind of baked good you're going to like is what's called a lane cake. Sometimes they call it a prize cake. I've seen it online being called that. But what this is a sponge cake that's got coconut, raisins, and custard and pecans on top. And it's actually pretty good. You don't see it everywhere, but it's a regional cake you can have when you're here. And those pecans come back because Alabama actually has some really great pecans when you are here. So you can get the nuts, but probably the best way to get it as a dessert as a slice of pecan pie. Oh my God, pecan pie or pecan pie. I mean, everyone has their own way to say it, but pecan pie for me, it's just like this gooey goodness with the pecans in it. It's just, oh, it's heaven. If you can get a slice of that or slice that peach pie I talked about before for dessert, you're gonna be just fine. And if you're going to one of those, barbecue joints, the fried chicken joints on the side of the road, there's one dessert you definitely have to have when you're here in Alabama, and that is banana pudding, okay? We've all had pudding as kids. Now, it's a banana-flavored pudding, and you got vanilla wafers on there, too. Some people put them on top, some people on the bottom. They just gotta be on there. But my God, if you're here in Alabama and you see banana pudding, you have to try it. Don't be like, oh, I don't eat pudding. I'm not a baby. No, don't roll that way. Like, you gotta have banana pudding when you're here. Now, some people might think, well, you're getting a little heavy with the food, with the fried chicken and the barbecue and all the cakes and stuff. What if I'm just hot? I'm here on the beach. I'm just like, oh, how do I deal with the heat and humidity in the summer here? Go grab a snow cone. Believe me, there's plenty of little trucks driving around. They'll sell you snow cones around Alabama that you'll be able to enjoy. Well, especially down here in the southern part, okay? But probably the best way to stay cool when you are here is having some sweet tea. Yes, they love the sweet tea here in Alabama. And no, sweet tea is not just tea with sugar in it. It's a lot more goes into that process. That's why when you go to the north and you ask, hey, do you have sweet tea? And they're like, oh, we have tea and sugar packets. Like, no, it's got to brew together. It's got to be one together and cooked together and just fuse into that sweet goodness of sweet tea. And when you're down here, you get a big glass of iced sweet tea. It just, it's so good. It helps wash away, not the calories, because it's got its own calories on there. But honestly, that's one of the best ways to kind of cool down when you are here. And then the last thing I want to say is if you do come to Alabama, especially during Mardi Gras, and if you're in Mobile for the original Mardi Gras, you might notice they throw out moon pies. Yes, you know moon pies. It's the kind of cookie sandwich covered in chocolate. Well, there's other flavors, but covered in chocolate with marshmallow in the middle. Yeah, you got to have that if you're in Mobile for Mardi Gras. Yeah, they're going to throw a few out to you, and you're going to enjoy them when you're here. So grab one of those as well, especially if you're on the road, because if you're driving through Alabama, and they actually have decent roads when you're driving through here, that's a nice treat you can pick up at any gas station. And oh, if you see a Jack's, it's a fast food restaurant that's from here in Alabama. Stop there and get lunch there because it is a thing that is truly Alabama. Anyway, I wish y'all the best, and I'll say bye from here on the Gulf Coast here in Alabama.